That looks nice.
That's so pretty.
Okay, so now what? This game contains depictions or themes of violence, death, body horror, chronic illness, grief, and dysfunctional relationships. Oh, wonderful.
I
Things
relate.
to.
I relate to the chronic illness.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Rainbow Gaming. I'm Matt,
I'm Rook.
and welcome to It Paints Me. This is already giving me the creepy vibes. I'm not gonna lie.
It reminds me of the game Death Palette, and I wanna. Can we play that for the channel?
Yeah. Just a heads up, everyone. Rook is not feeling his best.
I've been sick for like a week. It sucks.
Yeah. So every night I find myself alone in the studio, curtains drawn tight, my neat row of paints.
Palette.
Thank you. Palette and brushes in the same place on the drawer by the easel. The canvas upon it sits, as always, unfinished, Mary's half-painted face frozen in empty salt.
That's
Okay.
pretty.
Yeah. It's laid out as it always is when I awaken here. Mary is nowhere to be found. She must still be at the theater, even when the curtains fall and the stage lights dim. The night is forever young to its star of sopranos. I would always wait outside her dressing room, roses in hand, scores of other bright-eyed admirers going through the halls, though she alone was mine. Possessive, maybe?
I mean, that's kind of how you and I are, so I can't really knock it.
And I was hers. It's cold, bitterly cold tonight, but I still draw the curtains and open the windows wide. There's a stench in the room, deep and damp and sickly sweet that I can't ever seem to be rid of. Besides that, the fumes from the
Linseed.
linseed oil make my head spin. What the hell is linseed oil?
I actually don't know.
Like every night, I measure out my paints, arranging the small dabs of color on my palette from lightest to darkest. Titanium white and
Cadmium.
cadmium yellow to corpse brown and lamp black. I wet my brush with oil and gently start mixing the pigments. Okay. Just it feels just a little bit like magic watching them swirl and mix, forming new colors from old.
Do we paint her hair or her face?
I would paint her hair first. I blend a dark, deep red and applied with a generous dab of oil to a patch of background that blends in with Mary's hair. I didn't have to. The paint is still wet from last night and the night before. I must have painted and repainted the same background countless times. To say it's difficult to paint by lamplight, my muse nowhere in sight, is an understatement, of course, but lately these nightly hours are the only time I find myself able to lift my brush. I stop every few strokes. Spirits, it hurts. I had joked that the pain that forced me away from the tailor shop meant I could finally return to my paintings at the very least. I was never any good at humor. Mary had sensed my worries, consoled me sweetly in her voice like a charmed stone to life.
Oh, Sam, don't worry. I have roles lined up for months. Go ahead and paint. We can still live comfortably.
It hurt, a small part of it did, beyond the physical, beyond the ailments, to seek her permission. To be unable to care for my darling the way I had when we were young, brimming with talent, but crushingly unknown. Well, she had been. I was and still am nothing.
I felt that in my soul.
Jeez, man, that
I
just.
felt that in my soul.
Wow. I felt that. Excuse me, but perhaps finally it would now be my turn to bring my vision to the world. If only it didn't hurt so damned much. Time passes and I still manage more than a few strokes, a small patch of dark over an already wet canvas. Or perhaps time hasn't passed at all, the broken clock on the wall would suggest as much. Perhaps the seconds have lain still, the world outside unchanging, and I the only thing that moves. There's a lot of talking in this. Have I moved? Is repeating the same brushstrokes like a clockwork doll movement? I shivered inside. Perhaps sleep would be a better endeavor. Perhaps the next night we'll meet more success. I stand, setting aside my paints and palette, and slowly move to shut the windows. I stop. There, out in the front garden, barely lit by a street lamp, stands a figure that can only be Mary. She bids goodbye to another figure, tall and broad-shouldered, and then she laughs, a beautiful laugh, a heartfelt laugh, and embraces him before he makes his reluctant exit on a carriage stopped by the gate. For a moment, I don't know what to think. A friend, a co-star, perhaps that amiable tenor she mentioned every now and then. I didn't see his face, but Mary's social circle had always eclipsed my own. It must be, but why would he come to our home? Why would she laugh that way? I don't see anything, do you?
Mm-mm.
In the garden, in the midst of walking past her, humming to herself, Mary suddenly looks up. For a moment, her eyes go wide and she blinks as if shaking herself from a daze. I instinctively step back from the windows. Perhaps it's guilt that makes me do so. Mary is finally home, and oh, I've missed her so. How could the first thing I think upon seeing my darling be the worst thoughts my mind could conjure? For the first time in many, many nights, I feel just well enough to leave the studio. I prepare Mary a pot of her favorite chamomile tea. I'll listen as she tells me of the nights, the theater, the thousand small anecdotes she never runs out of, and maybe, just maybe, ask her again to sit for a portrait for me, like she used to. The house feels larger than it used to. Perhaps I was shut in the studio too long. Still, how could I so quickly become a stranger to my own home? There's a lot of dialogue in this.
My God, and this is just like the introduction.
Right? The memories are fuzzy, the years blur together like a wash of oil colors. My mother and I carrying our sparse luggage, stepping inside for the first time. My stepfather laughing, his elbows on the breakfast table, chattering over something he'd read in the paper.
And silent halls and empty rooms.
Sorry.
You're good.
And then myself welcoming my new bride to the solitary halls, hanging our newly taken portraits above the mantel. The walls are barren now.
I'm gonna save real quick.
I feel the walls in the dark, leaving sticky trails of paint behind, tracing the places where I used to hang.
Photographs or painting?
I go with the paintings. The paintings that framed the seaside landscape I painted on our honeymoon, the watercolor sketch of Mary that couldn't hope to capture the sheen of her hair, the still life of the roses in a cracked vase. Oh, how my darling loves roses. Gone, cleared away. The naked walls stared blankly at me. Confused but with nowhere to go, I continued through the house. As I walk, I pass the furniture my stepfather left me, the shelves and tables that always seemed so large and grand as a boy, now missing a mitt or mantled in thick white linen. They remind me of corpses on a hospital table lying dead still, covered in sheets. Jeez, man. Mary? I try to call out, but phlegm blocks my throat. I cough long and drawn and wet, and then once more attempt to voice her name. Mary? It slicks off my tongue like a serpent uncoiling. I'd always loved her name, so tender and sweet, free of harsh syllables. Mary. It was a name like an impressionist fleur, painted in soft strokes with a fine oil brush. I feel like I'm reading a Shakespearean novel. You know what I mean? I really feel like I'm reading something that's like Shakespearean.
Yeah.
It was the greatest joy in the world to join my name to hers. Silence fills the halls, and long, drawn-out silence. I held breath. Finally, my darling answers.
Sam, is this a dream?
I cough again, another long wet trail dripping from my lips. Is it a good dream, darling?
I don't know. It feels like a nightmare. An awful, wretched nightmare.
Why? He
Good
just.
lord.
Jeez. I limped towards the sound of her voice, so musical, so lovely, even at the brink of tears. Don't cry, darling, I want to say, but thick syrupy liquid fills my throat. No matter what troubles you, I am here. She stands at the edge of the staircase, shaking, a candlestick in hand. The steps are sticky and wet. I inch carefully, practically at a crawl, not to slip. My darling lifts the candle as I approach. In the dark of the house, its flickering flame almost blinds me. I don't see the expression on her face as she screams. Why does she scream? Mary, where are you, my darling? Every word feels like a dagger puncturing my throat.
Oh my god.
I limp down each hall, leaving a trail of steps that feel damp and heavy, slick and wet. I try the door to our bedroom. No, Mary's room. I had started sleeping in the spare one when my coughing fits would wake her in the night. It was cold, so cold alone, but my darling needed her rest. The knob is slick and hard to twist, my hand slipping on the brass. Finally, I managed to push the door open. Though it's completely dark when I peer inside, I know it's empty. Jeez, this is like really freaking depressing, dude. No warmth, no flesh, no sound of sweet breath within. I continue down the hall. I trudge my steps heavy and wet, trying not to slip over the thick, slick surface. Is he like dying?
It sounds like. It sounds. You know what it sounds like, especially with everything about, like, he's like coughing up this syrupy liquid. It sounds like consumption.
Yeah. Mary, what's wrong, darling? Please come out, I don't understand. The dining room is empty, truly empty. The shelves where the china and silverware were once neatly stacked now gape, hollow. The walnut table is covered in a thick white sheet, the matching set of chairs removed. Dude, it's like the house is abandoned. I rest against the blanketed table. My hand leaves a ruddy smear across against the sheet. It must be more paint, though. It's hard to make out in the dark. I bet it's not paint. I bet it's blood.
That's why I'm thinking it's consumption.
Yeah. I needed spectacles for quite some time, but Mary had never liked the bookish type. Mary sounds like she's, you know.
Hmm.
I continue on through the familiar yet unfamiliar house, my steps strained and slow, my breath short, sticky, wet. What the hell? Mary, where are you? Oh, Mary, it hurts. Won't you come to me? I hear the front door slam shut. It must be freezing cold out. Why has she gone to the garden? I tread to the sound with new urgency, uncaring of the sticky, wet floors, forgetting for just a moment the pain that snaps and burns through my flesh. What? Is he, like, stabbed or something?
No, because it's a chronic illness,
Yeah,
so he's got to have something.
yeah. I reach for the oily, damp knob. Don't.
Don't, Sam.
Oh, sure.
Please. You're good.
Her voice rings from behind the door. I don't understand, darling. Have I done something to upset you? Her sobs echo loudly. I never thought an ugly sound could come from my darling's lips, but her words.
I love you, Sam. I always will, but I can't bear to see you like this. Please, I beg of you, return to where you came. You can't be here. I've moved on now.
What?
Oh. Oh no.
Oh boy.
Can I just...
Yeah, might be a good idea to save here. What? Return where? Dearest, you aren't making sense. Moved on? I'm your husband, Mary. What on earth is there to move on from?
Please remember, Sam. You were ill. You were ill for a long, long time, and you never recovered. Oh my god, is he a ghost?
That's why I'm wondering. I know that I'm unwell, Mary, but you said we would still. Are you leaving me because I can't care for you anymore? Is that why?
You left me. I
I.
called it!
Yep.
Shouldn't have yelled like that, pal. You're dead, Sam. You've been dead for more than a year.
If this is a joke, darling, it's a cruel one. Do you want me dead? Is that it? Am I better off dead to you? My darling does nothing but sob behind the door. How quickly I regret my words. Oh, if only I could see her face, look into her eyes, reassure her, and see that she loves me still. I twist the knob with slick, oily hands.
No, don't come out, please.
On the other end, with sharp gasp, my darling grasps the door, the knob closed, pushing the weight of her small frame against the weathered wood.
Don't come out.
Oh,
Oh my god.
we need to sit, yeah. Oh,
What do we do?
I don't know. Because if you're dead, I mean, let her go, but it's like at the same
The
time,
hard-headedness in me wants to force the door
go
open.
for it. No, not until you tell me what's going on. Are you leaving me, my darling, after everything? I need you. I need you.
Ooh.
My darling utters a sharp cry as the hinges groan against the frame, loosening her grip as she stumbles back onto the cobblestone path. I instantly forget her sharp words as I limp towards her side. Mary, are you alright? I'm so sorry. I wonder if this is what it meant by I'm starting to wonder what it meant by body horror, though.
Stop it, Sam. I'll keep you alive. Every time I sing, I'll sing for you. I'll keep you in my song, in my art.
Oh, but it hurts. Her shrill voice grates against the ooze spilling forth from my ears. It hurts. It hurts. My head rings. My chest is a hollow cavity, slippery and wet, flowing with hot, sickly fluid.
I feel like it's this one.
I cough and spew more syrupy, warm liquid from my lips. Your art? It was always about you. Your fame, your voice, your needs, your wants, your desires. You were a work of art, of course, but did you ever think about me? He's pissed.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever think about poor Sam dying alone in a cold white room? Poor Sam who couldn't even hold a brush in his hands at the end. Poor Sam left to rot into nothing. A year was all it took to forget me. I am shaking, leaving smears of dark, muddy paint over her pale shoulders. The next moment she breaks from me, running blindly into the street. The carriage doesn't stop for her. Of course it doesn't. Oh,
Oh my
no.
god.
Oh, no. My dearest is a wisp of dark curls, a black gown billowing into the night like a shade. She should be light as a breath, soft as mist. Oh, no. Oh, God. But the song that comes is a scream of her breaking bones, her ripping flesh, the breath that leaves her lungs.
Oh my god.
Oh, dear God in heaven. But every sound my darling makes is beautiful. No, it's not! Oh, dear
Oh
God in
my
heaven.
god.
I scoop her mass of flesh and deep crimson hair in my arms. Her blood pools around me, syrupy and dark, a color so deep no artist's pigment could hope to capture. the pure scarlet or vermilion red, a dull stain in comparison. Jesus Christ, this guy's gone nuts. It is not Sam that I see staring back in the deep pool of our blood.
Oh my god.
Who is that? That's you, right?
That's us, but like really fucking dead.
Yeah.
Wow.
My darling is a lovely creature, even broken. I gently carry her up the steps, one slick, dampy, crooked step at a time, setting her massive, jutted bone of
Viscera.
thank you,
You're
and
welcome.
flesh on the velvet seat in my studio. The fabric soaks it deep, so very deep. It's dark as it is every night. I leave the lamps unlit, the window shut tight. How strange that the stench of linseed oil even ever bothered me. After all, I no longer breathe. My darling sits still, ever so still, not a breath escaping her broken flesh. What a lovely model. Oh, what a wonderful thing. What the fuck? All the more beautiful now that it surely hurts to sing.
Icon of agony.
Eesh.
Jesus.
Oh, it is agony to hold a brush. It always is. But I can bear it.
Oh my god.
After all, who can truly create without pain?
Oh,
Oh, ending one, Muse. Didn't say there was two endings?
yes, did. Alright, so we're gonna do this one, and we'll just
Let
let
her
her
go.
go.
Yeah. I let go of the door, my hand slicking off its oily surface. Forgive me, Mary, I can see you don't wish to speak to me right now. But whenever you do, whatever this is about, I'll be waiting in the studio. I leave the door, I leave my darling alone, sobbing in the garden. It's dark, so very dark, but dawn will soon paint that dim black sky. I retrace my slick, wet footsteps through the hall up the staircase, one trudging, damp step at a time. Spirits, it hurts, it burns. I feel no breath in my lungs. My chest could be a hollow cavity, slippery and wet, spilling with hot, sickly fluid. It hurts, oh, it hurts. I stagger into a tall, sheet-covered object, the linen sliding off with the grasp of my clumsy, slick fingers. It's Mary's floor-length mirror. No, oh no.
No!
No, 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 no.
That is lungs.
Yep,
That is horrifying.
that is
I
really.
kind of want to do this as like a body paint. Is that weird?
That's not weird.
Maybe after I do top surgery, so I can like go with like an open
So
shirt like
it,
this and not have to worry about anything.
yeah,
But that would be really cool as like a makeup body paint kind of thing.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh, oh, geez.
oh,
Oh boy. I'm in the studio, dark, dim studio, as empty as it is every night. The curtains are shut, the lamps are unlit. My palette is a mess of murky colors, rust reds, corpse browns. A musky, sickly, sweet, rotting stench fills the room. I don't know why the smell of linseed oil ever bothered me. After all, I no longer breathe. The handle of the door turns behind me, slowly creaks open, and a figure steps inside. It's me. He limps more than he steps in crooked motions against the floor. Oh, that sound. Dragging his body along like a wet, wide brush as swaths of red pull at his feet. I watch him pull himself before the canvas. Samuel.
icon of affliction.
Yeah. He speaks in my mother's voice, a pitched cry of command and dependency,
Derision.
derision and affection, pride and disappointment. Give up your suffering, give up this. Come into the earth with me. My hands are too slick to hold my brush. I stab it into my
Ugh.
flesh and fix it between my bones. Ugh. Then then dip the bristles into his blood.
I see
Jesus.
with him saying he stabs the thing into his hand, all I can hear in my head is firmly grasp it.
Sammy, icon of
Algasia.
Algasia. He speaks in my stepfather's voice, wistful, choking back tears, the same cadence of his goodbye as he hugged me against his uniform, the dog tags cold around his neck. Don't suffer any more, Sam. Forget your pain. You are nothing already. Come into the void with us.
Jesus.
My brush is drying. I plunge it into his chest, wet it with his oily breath.
Oh my god.
Icon of agony. Sam. He speaks with my voice, hoarse and ragged and tired, so very, very tired. This won't make you worthy of love. Not the world's, not Mary's, not your friends or peers or critics. Come back to our grave and our suffering. Jesus Christ. You know I didn't do this for love. I clean my brush with the paint thinner, knocking over the jar as it spills across the drawer and onto the wet, silken floor. I dry the bristles on my worn, rotting shirt, then soak it in the thick, white mucus of his tears. My words are only partially true, just as his words are not fully wrong. Neither my rotting corpse nor the memory of what once was Sam will gain a thing from this tutorial. I paint the hours away or perhaps take no time at all. The clock on the wall never turns its hands, suggesting that the world lies still. The seconds never pass and I am the only thing that moves within it. It hurts, oh it hurts. Jesus man, this is so sad. Ay, heavy syrupy tears flood my vision, fill my throat, my chest choking me. Every movement of my hands leaves cracks in what's left of my brittle bones. He stares at me all the while, silent still like a mirror. If I loved him, I would stop. I would crawl to my grave like he wishes. But I love this more than I love myself. I birth him from within me as I create, so too am I born. And he and I are beautiful.
Please tell me you saw what happened up here.
What? No, I didn't.
I don't know. It like flashed white in the up here.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what happened. Oh, is that us?
Yeah, that's us.
Oh my god. We're so pretty.
Right? Self-portrait. Wow. There was voice clips of Sam?
There was?
Apparently.
That's awesome.
Go to gallery, let's do it.
Oh wow.
Hey.
Wow. This was really, really cool.
It was, but dude, was that...
It was really sad, but it was really, really cool.
It was
I
really...
really enjoyed this.
Me too. I really did enjoy it. I mean, there was a lot of reading and a lot of dialogue, but that was like what made it, was the dialogue. So this was really well done. This was really well done. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
And I appreciate it said it had original music and like hand drawn artwork. That's something that like as an artist myself I deeply appreciate.
Yeah, I like that there was like when it showed the portrait of like the garden or whatever, there was that little like they didn't make it obvious what you were drawing, like you were trying to guess what you're saying.
Yeah.
So that's what I liked about it.
It was really, really, really well done.
Yes. On that note, thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Rainbow Gaming. If you like this, please leave a comment in the comment section below. Like and subscribe to our channel. They'll just warm our hearts. If you have any other recommendations for any other games you'd like to see played, please leave a comment below. Also, check out the description for this video. There'll be links to our other accounts, which are Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, so check those out. Rook, you got anything?
No, I'm good.
Alright, guys, well, until next time, I'm Matt,
I'm Rook.
and we will see you in the next episode.
See ya.
Bye bye.